What's up, guys? Welcome back. I do not have a physical copy of this, and I really don't want to. We're going to be talking about the new Mötley Crüe EP, Cancelled. Oh boy, let's get into this. For those of you who don't know, Mötley Crüe was my first big band. Growing up, I obsessed over them. I literally own a good majority of their stuff. I was so obsessed with Red, White, and Crew that this is not the first copy I ever owned. This is actually the second one, and this one is actually uncensored. I know this because in Anarchy in the UK, on the first one, it was censored. It didn't say fuck. This does. Um, and this also doesn't skip. So I grew up listening to this compilation nonstop. I was heavily, heavily into it. They were my first concert with their final tour, which I still have that shirt hanging on my wall. And they were also the first band that calmed me down when I was 6 months old instead of fucking lullabies, because I guess Mötley Crüe just made more sense in my tiny little brain. I I didn't even want to listen to the EP, but I thought I would because I'm called Lunar Blood Reviews and I haven't done many reviews, which I apologize about that, but I did not want to be just a review channel. That said, what the fuck happened to you guys? There was a time I loved you. I mean, I even own fucking Generation Swine. And I would rather listen to this than the new EP. I would rather listen to that album. I would rather listen to Saints of Los Angeles than the new album. This is not the Mötley Crüe I know. The Mötley Crüe I know is the ones who did not give a fuck, who were party animals, who had Vince singing much fucking better than he has on Saints of Los Angeles or the new EP or even on the original tracks for the Dirt soundtrack. And I'm gonna say Saints of Los Angeles and those tracks from the Dirt soundtrack that were new, and All Bad Things and Sex, those songs are 1,000 times better than the canceled EP. I don't even. The only song I can even remember by name is Fight for Your Right, and that's a fucking Beastie Boys cover, which was butchered to hell. Not to mention the fact that it just doesn't feel like it when he starts naming off everyone else and he mentions John 5. I understand that there's been some shit between them and Mick, but at the same time, and this is what pisses me off, it's not worth John 5 being in the band. What pisses me off is when I think of Mötley Crüe, I think Vince, Tommy, Nikki, Mick. They should have just broke up. And I understand they had the Dirt movie. I actually have that book. Fantastic book. Oh my god. the what fucking kills me is the fact that Vince sounds so out of it that he's not even singing, he's just yelling. Not even a good yell. I've been to two Mötley Crüe concerts in my life. The second time was better, but the man is just, he's no longer good. The age, I think, has caught up with them, and they seem very tired. They seem more bored out of their minds. Even interacting with the audience, they kind of just feel like they're forced to talk. And what kills me is the fact that nothing on this EP is memorable. I don't think they've had memorable moments since Dr. Feelgood. Um, and I know I'm talking about both people and music, and there's a reason for that, because on this EP, it feels like they're not really trying. They're just kind of like, oh, here's a riff that I just pulled out of my ass. We're gonna see if we can make it like the next Sweet Child of Mine, because we we were so good back then, and we're still selling out stadiums. I really feel like they just pulled the most generic shit. They did a horrible job covering Fight for Your Right, to a point that I actually had to listen to the Beast Boys cover afterwards just to get that version stuck in my head. My biggest complaint is gonna be the vocals. Vince is not holding up well. He's yelling, he's not really singing. I think it was what Dogs of War was horrendous. I actually want to blow my brains out just from that song alone. I have heard better stuff from Whitesnake. I've heard better than I mean, when Celtic Frost went glam, I would rather listen to that era of Celtic Frost than this EP, and I hate that era of Celtic Frost. I would rather listen to fucking Taylor Swift over this. Mötley Crüe aren't Mötley Crüe anymore. And I think that's the most painful thing I've had to admit as someone who was a big fan. And when I get nostalgic, I'll go back and listen to fucking Shout at the Devil, Dr. Feelgood, Girls. I don't even know what happened to my original case for this. The booklet and the shit is just lost. I would rather listen to this, because this and the self-titled are my favorite albums. Shout the Devil is also up there. I feel like I I can't give it a 1 out of 5. I have to give it a 0.5 out of 10, because it's so obnoxiously loud that I had to put, like, my headphones were like this low on a scale that's like that. and it was still like blasting in my ears. That's how loud it was. They overproduced it. It feels like they're trying to cover up Vince's obnoxious yelling with the drums and the guitar and the bass, and it's just a hodgepodge of a mess. It's terrible. It was pointless. They if I can understand wanting to release more music, but please, for the love of God, make an original riff. Make not uber generic fucking lyrics that are so goddamn predictable. My God. And thing is like Tommy was the first drummer I really paid attention to, and is one of the first drummers that ever really made me go like, oh, I want to drum, but I also want to sing. Uh, because I do both, and it just feels like he's not even trying anymore. I feel like he's becoming like Lars from Metallica, just generic, most basic shit. I know I'm gonna get hate for this from old heads, but old heads, don't worry, I'll still listen to the Motley Crue that was good. The it's a point 0.5 out of 10. There's no redemption for this. It's so horrible. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. As always, shine on, stars.